Imagine waking up one morning and deciding you're going to outwit the entire city of Las Vegas. Not just any city, the gambling capital of the world. With cameras on every corner, security tighter than a drum, and chips designed to be impossible to fake. And yet, against all odds, two ordinary guys pulled off one of the wildest cons in history. How did they do it? And what does this say about luck, greed, and the thrill of the impossible? This is the story you won't believe until you hear it for yourself. In the early 2000s, Las Vegas was buzzing. New casinos were opening, old ones were getting makeovers, and the city was bursting with opportunity. But where there's money, there are always people looking for shortcuts. Casinos are built to stop cheaters, with cameras everywhere and poker chips that are supposed to be impossible to fake. Still, two men found a way to beat the system. The first was Eric Morikawa, a 40-year-old construction worker who was tired of his job and wanted more from life. He met Jeremy Lewis, a young man with a troubled past, someone who had tried drugs, counterfeiting, and small-time crime. Eric felt sorry for Jeremy and gave him a job in construction, hoping to help him get back on track. For a while, things went well, but when the housing market crashed in 2004, work disappeared and both men needed a new way to make money. One day, Eric saw a casino ad with a picture of a poker chip and wondered if it was possible to make a perfect copy. He shared the idea with Jeremy, and together they began experimenting. They managed to get their hands on a real chip and cut it open, discovering it was made from a mix of clay, sand, and metals, materials pressed together under high heat. The challenge wasn't just the look or feel, but also the sound it made when dropped. Casino workers were experts at spotting fakes, and even a small difference could get them caught. After many failed tries, Eric realized it would be easier to modify real chips than to make new ones from scratch. They bought low-value, $1 chips, which were close in weight and texture to $100 chips, and set out to transform them. The process was slow and careful. First, they had to remove the original design without damaging the chip, using boiling water to peel off the print. Then, Jeremy, who had some experience with forgery, mixed paints to match the colors exactly. They sprayed the chips, masked off areas, and layered on new colors until the chips looked identical to the real thing. The final step was recreating a special ink that shimmered under certain lights, just like the real chips. After a month of trial and error, they had a chip that was nearly perfect. To test their work, Jeremy took 3 fakes to a casino and managed to exchange them for $300 in cash. The thrill was intense, but so was the fear of getting caught. Encouraged by their success, they ramped up production, making 20 to 30 chips a day, each worth $100. They visited casinos all over Las Vegas, sometimes gambling with the chips, sometimes swapping them in the bathroom to avoid cameras. Their routine became second nature, and the money started rolling in. As their confidence grew, so did their profits. What started as a small operation soon brought in thousands, then tens of thousands of dollars each month. Eric and Jeremy's lives changed completely. Eric bought cars and houses, and his wife enjoyed shopping sprees. But with more money came more risk. Jeremy fell back into old habits, spending recklessly on drugs and alcohol. He told a woman he was seeing about the scheme, and she began to blackmail him, demanding money to keep quiet. The pressure built. Jeremy told Eric about the blackmail, and both men tried to keep her satisfied, but her demands only grew. Meanwhile, Eric's paranoia increased. One day, a stranger knocked on his door, pretending to be a neighbor looking for his son's ball. When Eric turned his back, the man revealed himself as an FBI agent. At the same time, agents raided Eric's workshop, finding all the tools and materials used to make the fake chips. Even expert casino staff were shocked by how convincing the chips were. The operation was the first of its kind in the United States, and the news spread quickly through the gambling world. When questioned, Eric quickly confessed and revealed Jeremy's role. Both men were arrested and faced steep bail, $5 million each. Eric's lawyer managed to reduce his bail to $15,000 thanks to his clean record and the relatively small amount of counterfeit chips found at his workshop. Jeremy, on the other hand, couldn't pay bail and stayed in jail. Eric was released and tried to go straight, but temptation soon returned. He was approached by a Russian inmate he'd met in jail who wanted to restart the chip scheme. Eric agreed, on the condition that he would only teach the method and not handle the chips himself. The new team began making chips again, but Eric's old workshop was under surveillance. The FBI soon moved in, arresting everyone involved. This time, Eric's lawyer argued that the casinos couldn't prove which chips were fake, since they were so well made. The only evidence was the $3,000 worth of chips found at Eric's workshop. Because of the lack of concrete proof, Eric received a reduced sentence, 5 years of community service instead of prison. In the end, the scheme that made Eric and Jeremy rich also destroyed their partnership and nearly ruined their lives. Their story became a cautionary tale throughout Las Vegas, a reminder that even the most secure systems can be beaten, but the risks are always higher than the rewards. For a while, they fooled everyone, but in a city built on luck, their luck eventually ran out. Casinos across Las Vegas tightened their security, and gamblers became more cautious. Families who depended on casino jobs felt the impact too, as some casinos temporarily stopped accepting high-value chips, which hurt business and led to layoffs. The police and FBI held press conferences showing off the fake chips and explaining how the con was uncovered. Las Vegas learned a hard lesson from Eric and Jeremy's scheme. Always be careful and never underestimate the power of a well-planned con. If you want more stories like this, stories that will keep you on the edge of your seat, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for Beyond the Crime. Your support helps us bring you more incredible true crime stories every week. Here is another cases you can watch now. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.